Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Astro-Jyotish. My name is Sunil, and in today's video I'll be taking up charts of 4 sport heroes, 2 cricketers and 2 badminton players. So this video is illustration of the principles or the sutras that I talked about in my other video titled Sports Astrology. And I presume you all uh, must be aware of the heroes I have taken into consideration today. So let's move on. So first, our hero here we have is Sachin Tendulkar. Uh, so I've got the birth detail from the Astro Data Bank, which I believe has got mostly, correct birth details of the celebrities. So I've taken that and they got the charts prepared um, on Jehora. So let's look at the charts now. So we have here on the left hand side, you might see some arrows. I just, made arrows so that I can explain you things quickly and easily. So this is the Lagna Kundali on the left hand side. And then I have considered D10. Okay. So if you remember in my exposed astrology video, I talked about three rather four key principles or the sutras to look into. The first was about looking into the third, sixth, 10th and 11th house. Okay, so that was the first sutra. Second was about looking at the key planet Mars. So Mars and Saturn, two planets which are essentially important to find a native's career. So that has to be looked out. The third aspect is the yogas, the Raj yogas or other yogas that are formed in the natal chart. And the fourth thing was to look into the D10. So what the Lagna Kundali does is basically, shows the promise. And once you see a promise, then you can confirm that promise from the divisional chart, Dasmansha. Okay, so that's D10. Okay, so without going into any further details, because you can definitely look at the other video and find more in terms of the principle and sutra, let's look into this example. So Sachin Tendulkar, he has got number 5, which is Leo Lagna. Okay, so you know that Leo basically um, the the lordship of Leo is with Sun, and Sun is a king. So you know he is a king of cricket. So there is no second thought on that. So definitely Lagna plays an important role. Okay. Now if you also look at Lagna, Lagna is exalted in the ninth house. So this is the ninth house and it's exalted conjunct with Venus. Okay. So that's also really a kind of a yoga. I won't be going to all the names of the yogas because to be honest, I don't know the names. There are 18,000 yogas and I can't remember even 100 of them. So that's not, but what I can tell you is definitely that's a very, very promising thing when you have Lagna connected with the ninth house. With ninth house is the house of fortune. Okay, so the first principle, let's look at the third house. Okay, so the third house, as you can see, it's number 7 here. Okay, 7 is Venus, and Venus is aspecting the third house. That means the house has got the strength. So this house is becoming strong. Okay, so that's and then let's look at the sixth house. The sixth house has got Mars and Jupiter in it. And if you see, the sixth house has got Mars is exalted in the sign of Capricorn. So that means, and that also kind of does the niche bhang because Jupiter gets debilitated in Capricorn, but because of Mars being exalted, there is this niche bhanga is happening for Jupiter. And again, then look at the 10th house. So Jupiter aspects the 10th house from his fifth aspects. Okay, so that's how the 10th house is coming into picture, right? And also, if you see what's happening over here, uh, here the from Rahu. Rahu is expecting the basically the 11th house, so desire fulfillment. Remember, whenever Rahu gets connected with ninth, 10th, or with Mars, basically it shows like a sudden rise to a native. So let's look at what all points we have covered. So we have covered Jupiter, Lagna Lord exalted, Lagna Lord conjunct with the third house. Okay, so Lagna Lord, which is Sun, is conjunct with Venus, again a connection with the third house. So Venus, also if you see, Venus is the Lord of 10th house sitting in the ninth house, which is a Raj Yoga. Okay, uh, and so then Saturn, the sixth lord, is in the 10th house. You see Saturn, and this is the sixth lord. Again, a connection with the sixth. So as I said, the principle is Mars, Saturn play an important role, and the houses third, sixth, 10th, and 11th. Okay, so you can clearly see this in the Lagna Kundali. Now let's look at the D10. So definitely this chart shows a promise in sports. Now in D10, if you see, you have got what you need to look at the ascendant lord. It's a benefic planet, so that means the person himself will have desire to do the karmas, desire to work, desire, so he will it's not like somebody will have to ask him to do something. Because of the benefic planet, the lord of ascendant being benefic, he will himself be inclined to work hard and do the karmas. So that's the first thing to note, because ascendant of D10 is Venus. Okay, and Venus has also gone into your 11th house, so that means the person will do hard work to fulfill his dream, his desire. Okay, so that's what it indicates. Um, and Venus is also the Venus is also the 10th lord of D1 chart. So if you see here, okay, so you see Taurus. So that means the 10th lord of D1 has gone into the desire fulfillment. So that indicates the desires will be fulfilled. Okay. Um, D1 ascendant lord Sun. So Sun here, where is Sun? Sun has gone into the 10th house. So the focus of life will be all towards doing some great karmas, right? So that's what it shows in 10th house. And Mercury is in Kendra. I told Mercury is very important planet as in addition to Mars and Saturn, because Mercury represents your how you apply your mind to the game. That's why Mercury having being in a fiery sign. If you see, it's in Aries and it's in Kendras. Okay, so one, two, three, four. These are four houses are called as Kendras. And now Mars aspects the third and 11th house. So look, it another connection with the third house here, and then 11th house. One, two, three, four. Okay, so that's like eighth aspect of Mars on the third house, and fourth aspect of Mars on the 11th house. Okay, now as I said, so one thing what you see is Rahu. So Rahu is something that you will see with, like all the artists who gets sudden rise or an early rise in life is basically because of the Rahu connection. Rahu gives sudden rises, okay, sudden success. So hope um, this explains the principles that I laid down in the first video, and you can easily see how the third, um, the 10th, the Mars, Saturn, Mercury, and 11th house, how they are all playing into the chart of Sachin Tendulkar. Now, there's another aspect which we have to consider is because all these promises won't get fulfilled if you don't have the right Mahadasha. So if you see Sachin, he had the first dasa he got was of Venus, which is the third house. Okay, again third house coming into picture. Then Sun, followed by Moon, Mars, Rahu, Jupiter. Okay, currently he's going through his Jupiter dasa, and Jupiter you don't see. Um, um, so Jupiter he's mainly aspecting the now. his desire house in D10. Anyway, he has taken retirement. He took retirement during the Rahu period. Um, so if these dasha, they all in a way are promoting his success in sports. Okay, so let's look at the second chart. So now we have got our second hero, Virat Kohli. So Virat Kohli is again. So let's look at his chart. Okay, first let's look how is his ascendant Jupiter. Okay, so Jupiter has made a connection with the sixth house, and as I've explained, sixth house is the house of competition, is the house of enemy, is the house of disease and illness. But mostly for looking for career, it is the house where it's a battlefield, the playground. So that's where his focus would be. He will be always uh, into battlefield, even when he's not playing. Okay, so that's what really, if the Lord goes from into sixth house. Let's look at the third house. The third house again, the Saturn who is sitting here in the ascendant is aspecting the third house. That means Saturn will make him work. Saturn, the third aspect of Saturn, makes somebody work. Okay, somebody will have to show his courage. That's what the third aspect of Saturn means. And again, you have got Rahu in it. So Rahu will give, um, again, as I mentioned in the previous chart, it gives sudden rise. Um, then you have got Mars. If you see Mars is aspecting the 10th house. And Jupiter is also aspecting the 10th house. Again, connection between 3rd, 6th, 10th houses. You can clearly see. And Saturn aspects the 10th house from its 10th aspect. So 7, 8, 9, 10. So again, focus on 10th house. His mind is all into 10th house. What does this show? Moon is also there. So moon is your mind, his mind. And that mind means his all the pretty much his whole life is only about karma. Karma. If he is not playing underground, he will still be thinking only about cricket because of his mind being in 10th house, only karmas. Let's see how this is appearing in case of other aspects. The fifth lord has gone into the fourth house. So Trikona making relation with Kendras, which is a Raj Yoga. Again, Venus and Mercury. So here you see 11th lord is Venus and 6th and here so and then 10th lord is Mercury. So they have changed the houses. So there is a parivartan yoga between Mercury and Venus, right? And so that's again a very very positive yoga, um, which shows desire fulfillment basically. So let's look at Sun in D1. So Sun here is conjunct with Mercury. So this is also forming a yoga called Buddha Aditya Yoga. That makes him very intelligent. A person having Buddha Aditya is considered to be very intelligent. Um, let's look at D10. What's happening? D10. Okay. So D10, let's look at Mars, third house, sixth house, 10th house, 11th house, and Mars and Saturn. So Mars, where is Mars? If you see Mars here, Mars again aspects third house from his fourth aspect, 1, 2, 3, 4. So Mars is aspecting the third house. Now D1 ascendant is what? Saturn. And Saturn is conjunct with Mars. What does it show? Sangharsh. So Mars and Saturn, they are both together. That means Sangharsh. But then also it shows Sangharsh towards what? The third house. Okay. Um, then you see Jupiter is the lord of here Jupiter ascendant. Where how is the position of Jupiter? Where is the focus? So it's again third house. So Jupiter has gone into the third house of courage. Okay. Um, let's look at sixth house. Sixth house again. You've got Rahu. Okay, and where is the Lord of sixth house gone? It has gone into the fourth house. Okay, and then which aspects? 10th house, right? Um, Mercury, fifth Lord, is in Kendra. So you see the fifth Lord make in Kendra, which is again, it's kind of a Raj Yoga. And Mars being making a connection. So if you see Mars is aspecting Rahu, so that again an indication of success, early success in his chart. And currently, Virat Kohli is going through Rahu Dasa, which is again he's going to be it's about the sixth house, which is again he will really have to fight and kind of defeat his opponents. He will continue to do. Okay, so it appears to be a long video. I will have a part two of this video where I will cover the other two horoscopes of Prakash Padukone and Saina Nehwal. So thank you for watching this video and see you in the next part.